All right, I'm here with Josh, who graduated last fall, and so he was in the class of 18E, E standing for early. And I just wanted to ask him a few questions about his experience here. So could you tell me a little bit about why you chose Amherst?
Sure. I mean, Amherst is an amazing institution. The first reason being they admitted me, which was important. But I was really drawn to their commitment to creating a truly diverse body of students, especially with their need-life financial aid packages, which comparative schools don't have to that level.
Right.
I think that's really what stood out to me, because what's the point of just going to a classroom where everyone's the same? You want an academic body and a community where everyone's different and brings those differences to academic and social discussions.
Yeah, that's fair. Were there any activities or anything, something that drew you in?
Oh yes, they had a good orchestra.
Yeah.
I'm a cellist, and so I definitely did want to go to a school that had strong music, and I think Amherst is singular among at least small liberal arts institutions on having like a really, really good orchestra, a full-time conductor who is really committed to making good music, and we have 6+ concerts a year where we play real music, which is just incredible.
Yeah, I remember that being a big draw of Amherst, and like what I like too is that like there's like this audition process, but Mark kind of like puts you in pieces that he thinks that you like can excel in, like so if he feels that you're not ready for something, he'll like still normally let you play. So
I mean, which speaks to the broader point about what's so great about Amherst is that everyone comes together. They're all really amazing individuals, and when you get to start to get to know each person, you really understand how amazing they are. But there's so many opportunities that you don't have to jump through a lot of hoops to go to.
Right.
And I know this is like true when I hear like I have a lot of Ivy League schools. I have friends who go to there and say like getting into Model UN or orchestra is super, super competitive and a stressful process. And that just isn't true at Amherst. You can do what you love to do, and you don't need to feel stressed about belonging or being good enough to do it.
Right. No, that is such an important point. But I guess we should probably also talk about academics a little bit. So, like, could you tell us about your major and, like, tell us a little bit about like, the academic climate in general and maybe in that major?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm a political science major, and then I added a double in music, which was something I was on the fence on for a while because Amherst doesn't have minors.
Right, that's an important
but
thing.
I ended up being glad that I did both. I mean, Amherst, as a liberal arts education, they have open curriculum, which means they allow you to take just about whatever you want. So I could take an upper-level English course on Shakespeare. I ended up taking an upper-level sociology course about having the prereqs, and which were all really good experiences, but then also being able to dive into political science and music. I mean, the academics are really, really strong. The professors expect a lot out of you, and the students are all really incredible, so the standard's really high. Definitely, when I was starting out in freshman year, I was overwhelmed, and then I questioned if I belonged. But definitely getting used to it after a while, but just like questioning all of your assumptions, finding what you're really interested in, and I ended up doing theses in both departments, actually, and just really proud of producing independent project in political science and then a music performance, and really just everyone's been so supportive of what I wanted to do and helped me along the way, and still helped me guiding to my future career goals.
Right. Would you say that the student body is pretty supportive and like the professors and everyone as well? Like how would you describe just the student body, I guess? Primarily?
Yeah, everyone's really supportive. I mean, we're all very like same type of personality, I feel, where a lot of us like don't feel like we're belong, or like everyone else, we feel like everyone else is so incredible, and we like are not necessarily recognizing what's special about us and that we do belong as well. But definitely, like, it definitely is a very, like, you expect to do a lot of work here at Amherst, and I mean, but then everyone does work together, on the staying up at night, struggle together. It's definitely a community of struggling. But we know how to have fun here, too.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Fun doesn't go to die here.
And
Get my sideswipe at UChicago because I'm bitter about my...
goodness. But just one last thing, and before you can add whatever you want, but could you tell me your favorite and least favorite part about Amherst?
Oh, boy. I think what I said earlier about, that there's a lot of pressure in college in general. Wherever you go, you'll have pressure to do well and find what you enjoy. And it's hard to like not freak out. There's this big bumblebee there. No, no. But yeah, I mean the fact that like everything's open to you, and like I could do Model UN and Roosevelt and orchestra and whatever else I wanted to do without, there being like a barrier to entry there. Just like I'm here, I'm admitted, I'm all the resources are here for me, and my fellow students aren't competitors; they're comrades. Give a socialist reference now. No, no. I mean, but definitely, it's a sense of community that you might not get at other schools where they're bringing students of similar caliber, but it's much more cutthroat competition.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. And then what would be your least favorite part? Just like
there's two. There's just too much to do.
My goodness.
And this is a problem for a lot of students. But I mean, there is a lot of pressure to like not just do classes, but do a lot of extracurriculars, and especially like if you're friends, they'll pull you to try to do different things. And at least most of my friends are doing like 4 or 5 different things. And this is a common problem of college again, but especially like at a place like Amherst where there are so many opportunities, it's really hard to focus and narrow in on the couple things that will make you happy, investing a lot of time in. And I've struggled at times to really narrow in on that and instead try to do too many things.
Yeah, that is definitely a big issue, I think, for a lot of students, like pulling yourself too thin.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I meant to ask you your favorite part, but I ended up asking for more negative.
I think I said my favorite part.
Oh, you did. It was the student body and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Access to cats.
Yeah, because Josh is doing research on campus still, so he is actually living off campus, which is not common for enrolled students, and so that's why we're in this car. Do you have anything else to add?
I think that's all. Go to Amherst.
Sounds good. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Lily.